Hi, this is the demonstration for a LangGraph project that I did for PandaStack, and this LangGraph project is special in a way because it's a code assistant with access to more than 13 tools to do different type of operations based on what user wants, and also the agent uses these tools to discover about code and learn about your code and generate whatever is the requirement. So without further delay, let me provide a very brief top level view on the architecture. So we have Next.js dashboard as you do in 2025, and then whenever user sends a data like a request, it goes to code assistant, which connects to one of these workspaces, and there would be any number of workspaces that the user want. So for example, if the user needs access to, like, if the code assistant decides okay it needs to read something, then based on which workspace the code was request was sent from, that workspace the assistant will connect to and will use different tools to perform the operations. As I said, there are 12 tools, and I have mentioned only 3 here because generally these tools are grouped into the larger logical grouping. For example, it can be a container management tool, terminal tool, file editing tools, and so on. And maybe one of the container management tool might use one of the terminal tools. In addition to Next.js and Docker, as you can see, and LangGraph, there are other technologies used on this project like Supabase, React, and MongoDB. Now, once we have everything running, this is how the application looks like. Here you can see that we have a way to see the workspaces and different billing options. To start with a workspace, you can create a workspace, and there are a lot of options, like you can bring in your GitHub repositories, or you can create one of these templates. So for this demo I'll use Next.js because that's a very famous repository, and we can say something like Next.js demo, very creative, and then we wait for the application to start. So behind the scene it's creating a new Docker container, and once the container is ready, we may have to refresh it once to actually wait for the container to actually start. And it's using something called as code server, which is a open source branch, I would say patch of Visual Studio Code, and this is like we can run it through browser, and that's why we are using code server. Now here, like standard code generation platform, you have chat box, you have history of messages, code and application view. So if you go to application now, because we don't know what the application is, we can ask it to start, and then the model will try to and use the tools to understand what this application is about, and then start the application. You can see any of the files that are shown in the chat. You can also open it by clicking here, and basically you have these, like, it has understood that this is a Next.js application, and then it started the process, right? So it seems like dependencies are not installed, because the first time it will say error Next.js not found, because we are not doing any pre-processing of the code base, right? So then it goes here, it does whatever it needs to do to set up the Next.js. So what I am trying to demonstrate here is that the application and the platform is very powerful in terms of what the application can do, what the agent can do by using these tools, and understand about the project and take further actions that are needed from the user. Like in this case, we have asked it to start the development server, and it's doing its best to by using different tools and applications, and trying to understand okay whether or not we got it. And see, it's already doing is trying to get the logs of the terminal to see if the application has already started. We can see that here because the VS Code has understood something has started, and we are waiting for the agent to catch up here, and very soon it will catch up. Okay, let's see what happens. So in addition to that, the application is quite standard. So you can take this container once you work on it, and in terms of deploying it to different environment, it becomes very easy. And and step task. So there is also a limit of number of steps. We can say continue, and it's going to continue the previous application. Okay, so now it has said I have started the server. We'll wait for the server to actually show us a page. So when you go to this page, it takes some time for the Next.js to actually generate the page. So meanwhile, we can ask it to plan something. So we can say that I want, it can be anything. In this case, I would ask it to make the home page. I want the home page to be a sleek blog page, and this is where I wanted to demonstrate the capability of planning versus action mode. So now it is in plan mode, and it will not make any change, but it will create a plan for what needs to be done, and it's doing that. Meanwhile, we'll just go to the application. We're still waiting for this to catch up, and well, it did look into some of the code bases, and it has idea from the previous conversation that we had. It has come up with a plan that what it's going to do, layout, structure, and so on and so on, and it's kind of ready, and it's asking me to switch to act mode. We will do that and say go ahead now, and it will start working on that. Meanwhile, we'll wait for the application to catch up, just taking a bit longer. So it's running the terminal command, it's writing a file, and let's see if the file is actually being written. We can't really see that right now, but it has started writing different files, and I think that will also affect the page generation process. So maybe we should have waited for a while, but I didn't do that. So it's creating different components. Let's create the footer component. Yeah, I think we have to wait for the whole application to run before we can actually see something, and we can probably see different components here, right? Whatever the components are being written here. So app src, app components, postcard. Okay, finally let's update the homepage with the new components. Yeah, you can see that all the components are here now, and now we have created all the necessary components, updated to main page. Let's mark the environment as needed to be built, and well, again we have this check. We can disable it, but it's a check that will make sure that the model doesn't go into a loop wherein it can just consume a lot of tokens and not produce any output. So human intervention is required after a certain number of calls to the LM, and that's all part of the graph that we have built. And now you can see that everything is ready, it says, and well, there is an error, it seems. Can't resolve homepage component. Not sure what is this error for. Component slash footer. I'm not sure what is the error, this error about. You can say there is an error on there is an error after changes. And let's see what it does. Take the development server log. So it's looking at the logs and trying to understand. I see there is an error. Let's start the development server. It's starting a new server, and let's create a proper tailwind configuration. It says there is a problem with the tailwind, and there are, I can see those. Let's update the post CSS configuration. So it's looking at the project, creating a plan, and looking at the error and trying to solve this problem. And let's see. Now let's fix the image component usage. Let's start the development server again. So starting the development server. So well, that's what I wanted to show you, that an agent like this, which can communicate to your code base and can write code, and also can access and manage its own processes using the process or process orchestration tools. And that's about it.